In the vast and diverse landscape of global cuisine, few grains hold the mystique, the rich history, and the unique nutritional profile of wild rice. Often mistaken for a true rice, it is, in fact, the seed of an aquatic grass, Zizania aquatica, or Zizania palustris, native to the shallow waters of North American lakes and rivers. For centuries, it has been a staple food for indigenous peoples, particularly the Ojibwe, who call it manumin, meaning the good berry or good grain. Its distinctive nutty flavor, chewy texture, and impressive nutritional benefits, rich in protein, fiber, and essential minerals, have elevated it from a regional delicacy to a sought-after ingredient in gourmet kitchens worldwide. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey, stepping inside a state-of-the-art American factory where this ancient grain is meticulously processed, transformed from its raw, wild state into premium blends, ready to grace tables across the globe. This is the intricate story of how tradition meets technology, preserving the essence of wild rice while preparing it for modern culinary demands. Our comprehensive journey begins long before the factory gates, amidst the serene, often remote wetlands and cultivated paddies where wild rice flourishes. The very foundation of a high-quality wild rice product rests squarely on the quality of its raw material and the methods of its harvest. Traditionally, wild rice is harvested by hand from natural lakes and rivers, a practice that has been sustained for generations by indigenous communities. This involves two people in a canoe, one gently poling through the rice beds, while the other uses two knockers, smooth wooden sticks, to bend the rice stalks over the canoe and gently tap the ripe grains into the bottom of the boat. This method is not only sustainable, allowing unripe grains to mature and fall back into the water for future growth, but also deeply respectful of the plant and its environment. Close-up shots reveal the slender stalks of wild rice swaying gently in the water, with their elongated, dark grains ready for harvest.
However, to meet the growing global demand, a significant portion of wild rice is now cultivated in controlled paddies, primarily in Minnesota and California. Here, specialized machinery is employed for harvesting, designed to efficiently gather the grains while minimizing damage. These mechanical harvesters are often modified combines adapted for wet conditions that gently strip the grains from the stalks. Regardless of the method, whether traditional hand harvesting or modern mechanical collection, the initial handling of the freshly harvested wild rice is critical. The grains are typically collected into large, breathable containers or trucks and transported swiftly to the processing facility. This rapid transport is crucial because fresh wild rice has a high moisture content and can spoil quickly if not processed promptly. Upon arrival at the factory's receiving bay, a bustling hub of activity, the raw wild rice undergoes a rigorous and multi-layered inspection. Factory personnel, often equipped with specialized training, meticulously examine the incoming wild rice. They check for quality, freshness, and, crucially, the absence of contaminants such as foreign plant matter, stones, or other debris. This initial quality control is paramount. It's the first line of defense, ensuring that only the purest and most viable raw material enters the production stream. Each batch is weighed, documented, and assigned a unique identifier, establishing a chain of custody that allows for complete traceability from the field to the final product. This meticulous record-keeping is not just good practice, it's a cornerstone of food safety and quality assurance. Once cleared by the stringent initial inspection, the raw wild rice transitions into the pre-processing stage, a critical phase meticulously designed to prepare it for further transformation. This stage primarily focuses on thorough cleaning and initial sorting. The freshly harvested wild rice, even from cultivated paddies, often contains a mix of impurities, small stones, bits of stalk, leaves, mud, and sometimes even other seeds.
The first step is typically a coarse cleaning. The rice is fed onto conveyor belts that may pass over vibrating screens or through air classifiers. Vibrating screens effectively separate larger debris, while air classifiers use controlled air currents to blow away lighter impurities like chaff and dust. This initial separation is crucial to protect the more delicate machinery in later stages and to ensure a cleaner product.
Following this coarse cleaning, the wild rice often undergoes a wet cleaning process. It may be passed through washing tanks or flumes where water helps to dislodge stubborn dirt and mud. Specialized de-stoners, which use differences in density, are employed to remove small stones and other heavy foreign objects that might have escaped the initial screening. These machines are incredibly precise, ensuring that only the wild rice grains proceed. Throughout this cleaning and separation process, meticulous monitoring is maintained. Technicians regularly inspect the output, ensuring that impurities are effectively removed without significant loss of the valuable wild rice grains. Close-up shots reveal the raw wild rice, initially mixed with various debris, gradually becoming cleaner and more uniform as it progresses through these sophisticated cleaning systems. This pre-processing stage is a testament to the factory's commitment to purity and quality, laying the groundwork for the subsequent, more intensive processing steps. With the wild rice meticulously cleaned and separated from impurities, the next crucial step is an initial processing phase, often involving parboiling or steaming. This stage is unique to wild rice and is fundamental to developing its characteristic flavor, texture, and nutritional benefits, while also preparing it for efficient dehulling and drying. Unlike white rice, which is typically milled raw, wild rice benefits immensely from this partial cooking. The cleaned wild rice grains are transferred into large industrial-grade steaming or parboiling vessels. Here, they are subjected to controlled heat and moisture. This process gelatinizes the starch within the grain, making it firmer and less prone to breakage during subsequent milling. More importantly, it helps to fix the nutrients. Many of the vitamins and minerals present in the outer layers of the grain are driven into the endosperm during parboiling, meaning they are retained even after the outer hull is removed. This significantly enhances the nutritional profile of the final product. The steaming process also contributes to the wild rice's distinctive dark color and nutty flavor. The heat causes a slight caramelization and other chemical reactions that deepen the color from a greenish brown to the familiar dark brown or black and intensify its unique aroma and taste. The duration and temperature of this steaming are precisely controlled, often varying slightly depending on the specific variety of wild rice and the desired final product characteristics. Monitoring equipment displays real-time data on temperature and steam pressure, ensuring optimal conditions are maintained. Technicians regularly take samples to assess the degree of parboiling, ensuring consistency across batches. After the steaming, the grains are still quite moist and hot, ready for the next critical stage, drying. This initial processing is a cornerstone of wild rice production, transforming a raw seed into a more robust, flavorful, and nutritious grain. Following the parboiling or steaming, the wild rice grains are still very moist, containing a high percentage of water. This high moisture content makes them susceptible to spoilage and difficult to store or mill effectively. Therefore, the next critical stage is drying. This process is meticulously controlled to reduce the moisture content to a safe level for storage and further processing, without damaging the delicate grains or compromising their newly developed flavor and texture. The parboiled wild rice is transferred to large industrial drying chambers. These are often continuous flow dryers or batch dryers designed to circulate warm, dry air evenly around the grains. The temperature of the air is carefully regulated. It must be warm enough to facilitate moisture removal, but not so hot as to scorch the grains or cause them to crack. Too rapid drying can lead to stress cracks in the grains, which would result in breakage during subsequent milling. The drying process is typically slow and gradual, allowing moisture to evaporate uniformly from the inside out.
As the grains tumble or move through the dryer, moisture sensors continuously monitor their water content. Technicians observe these readings closely, ensuring that the wild rice reaches a specific low moisture level, typically around 8 to 10%, which is ideal for long-term stability and efficient dehulling. Close-up shots reveal the grains slowly losing their sheen, becoming firmer and more resilient as they dry. The aroma in the drying area is often rich and earthy, a testament to the developing flavors. Once the optimal moisture content is achieved, the dried wild rice is cooled to ambient temperature. This cooling step is important to prevent condensation and further moisture absorption during storage. The now dry and stable wild rice is ready for the next mechanical challenge, removing its tough outer shell. This careful drying process is essential for preserving the quality, extending the shelf life, and preparing the wild rice for its final transformation into a premium product. With the wild rice thoroughly dried and cooled, the next significant mechanical challenge is the removal of its tough outer hull. This process, known as dehulling or milling, is crucial because the hull is indigestible and must be removed before the wild rice can be consumed. Unlike the relatively easy dehulling of some other grains, wild rice presents a unique challenge due to its elongated shape and the firm adherence of its hull. The dried wild rice grains are fed into specialized dehulling machines. These machines are engineered to gently abrade or rub the grains against each other or against abrasive surfaces, effectively stripping away the outer hull without excessively breaking the delicate inner kernel. Common types of dehullers include rubber roll hullers or abrasive disc hullers, each designed to minimize damage to the grain.
The dehulling process is often performed in multiple passes. After an initial pass, the mixture of hulled grains, unhulled grains, and hulls is separated. Air classifiers are used to blow away the lighter hulls, while vibrating screens separate the fully hulled grains from those that still retain their outer shell. The unhulled grains are then recirculated for another pass through the dehuller. This multi-stage approach maximizes the yield of whole, intact grains. Throughout this process, meticulous monitoring is maintained. Technicians regularly inspect samples of the dehulling output, checking for the efficiency of hull removal and, crucially, for the percentage of broken grains. Minimizing breakage is a key quality indicator, as whole grains are highly valued in the premium market. Close-up shots reveal the dark, shiny hulls being separated from the lighter, often brownish-black inner kernels of the wild rice. The dehulling stage is a delicate balance of force and precision, transforming the raw, inedible seed into the edible grain we recognize. Once the wild rice has been successfully dehulled, it enters a critical phase of refinement, classification, and selection. Even after careful dehulling, there will inevitably be a mix of whole grains, broken grains, and potentially some remaining unhulled kernels or other minor imperfections. This stage is dedicated to sorting the wild rice by size, color, and overall quality, ensuring a consistent and premium product. The dehulled wild rice is first passed through a series of vibrating screens with different mesh sizes. This mechanical screening effectively separates the grains by length and thickness, creating different size grades. For premium blends, uniform grain size is often desired for aesthetic appeal and consistent cooking. Following size classification, the wild rice moves to advanced optical sorting machines. These machines are truly a marvel of modern technology. They use high-resolution cameras and sophisticated image processing software to analyze each individual grain as it passes by. The cameras detect subtle differences in color, shape, and even surface defects.
For example, discolored grains, those with residual hull fragments, or grains that are significantly broken can be identified and precisely ejected from the mainstream using targeted air jets. This level of precision ensures that only the highest quality, most visually appealing grains make it into the premium product. Technicians program these sorters with specific parameters for acceptable color and defect levels, and they regularly calibrate the machines and inspect the rejected grains to ensure optimal performance. Close-up shots show individual grains flying past the cameras, with a quick puff of air removing any imperfect ones. This meticulous classification and selection process is what elevates ordinary wild rice to a premium product, meeting the exacting standards of discerning consumers and chefs. For certain premium wild rice products or specific blend requirements, an optional but sometimes employed step is polishing. While wild rice naturally has a darker, often brownish-black hue and a slightly textured surface, some markets or culinary applications might prefer a slightly smoother, more uniform appearance. This is particularly true if the wild rice is destined for very high-end blends where visual perfection is paramount. The classified wild rice grains are fed into specialized polishing machines. These machines gently abrade the outer surface of the grains, removing any remaining fine bran layers or surface imperfections. Unlike the aggressive polishing sometimes used for white rice, which can strip away significant nutrients, wild rice polishing is a much gentler process, designed primarily for aesthetic enhancement rather than extensive bran removal. The polishing process is carefully controlled to minimize breakage and nutrient loss. The duration and intensity of the abrasion are precisely regulated. After polishing, the grains may appear slightly shinier and more uniform in color. However, it's important to note that not all wild rice undergoes this step. Many consumers appreciate the natural rustic appearance of unpolished wild rice, valuing its authenticity. For those products, this step is bypassed. If polishing is performed, the grains then proceed to a final inspection to ensure they meet the desired visual standards. This optional stage highlights the flexibility and customization capabilities within a modern wild rice processing factory, allowing them to cater to diverse market demands while maintaining the inherent quality of the grain. With the wild rice now perfectly processed, cleaned, dehulled, and classified, it is ready for its final transformation, blending. This is where the factory truly excels in creating value-added products, moving beyond simple wild rice to offer premium blends that cater to diverse culinary preferences and convenience needs. Blending is an art as much as a science, combining wild rice with other complementary grains, and sometimes even seasonings or dried vegetables, to create unique flavor profiles and textures. Large, industrial-grade mixing tanks or blenders are used for this purpose. These blenders are designed to gently yet thoroughly combine different ingredients without causing damage to the grains. Common blending partners for wild rice include long-grain white rice, brown rice, red rice, or even quinoa. Each addition brings its own texture, flavor, and nutritional contribution to the blend. For example, combining wild rice with white rice creates a lighter, fluffier texture, while brown rice adds more fiber and a nuttier note. The proportions of each ingredient are precisely measured according to specific recipes developed by food scientists and culinary experts. Automated dosing systems ensure accurate ratios for every batch. For some premium blends, dried herbs, spices, or dehydrated vegetables might also be incorporated, adding another layer of flavor and convenience for the consumer. After blending, the mixture undergoes a final visual inspection to ensure uniformity and consistency. Technicians also perform sensory evaluations, cooking small samples to check the taste, texture, and aroma of the blend. This meticulous blending process allows the factory to offer a wide array of products, from simple wild rice/white rice mixes to complex gourmet pilafs, all designed to bring the unique character of wild rice to a broader audience. Before any of these premium wild rice products or blends leave the factory, they undergo a final, comprehensive battery of quality control tests. This is not merely a formality, it is a critical safeguard, ensuring that every single bag or box meets the highest possible standards of purity, potency, and safety. Samples from each and every batch of the finished, formulated product are meticulously collected and subjected to a rigorous array of analytical and performance tests. These tests include, but are not limited to, verifying the precise moisture content, ensuring it falls within the safe range for long-term storage and preventing microbial growth. Chemists also check for any potential contaminants, including heavy metals, pesticides if not organic certified, or microbial growth, which would render the product unsafe. Sensory evaluations are paramount at this stage. Trained tasters cook and evaluate samples for taste, texture, aroma, and overall mouthfeel, ensuring consistency with product specifications. Cooking tests are also performed to verify cooking times and grain separation. Crucially, long-term stability tests are conducted, often involving accelerated aging protocols, to predict the product's shelf life and ensure its quality remains consistent over time. Certificates of analysis are generated for each approved batch, providing a detailed record of its quality and compliance with all relevant food safety standards. Only batches that successfully pass all these stringent evaluations are approved for packaging. The product then moves to highly automated packaging lines, a marvel of modern industrial efficiency. Bags or boxes move along conveyors, precisely filled with the wild rice or blend by automated machinery. Sealing machines swiftly and securely close the packages, often using vacuum sealing or modified atmosphere packaging to extend shelf life and preserve freshness. Sophisticated labeling machines then apply clear, durable labels containing essential information, nutritional facts, cooking instructions, batch numbers for traceability, and expiration dates. Finally, the finished products are grouped, stacked neatly onto pallets and prepared for shipment. Warehouse scenes reveal neatly organized rows of pallets, each laden with boxes of premium wild rice blends, ready for distribution to grocery stores, restaurants, and food service providers across the nation and around the world. This final stage is the factory's promise to its customers, a commitment to delivering a product that is consistently delicious, safe, and reliable. The journey we've witnessed, from a slender stalk swaying in a pristine wetland to a sophisticated, highly sought-after premium blend, is a profound testament to the power of innovation, scientific rigor, and an unwavering commitment to quality. Inside this modern U.S. factory, the process is far more than mere manufacturing. It is a meticulous alchemy, transforming a humble aquatic seed into a culinary gem for contemporary tables. By carefully processing and blending wild rice, these advanced facilities are not just producing a product. They are actively preserving a unique part of North American heritage, while simultaneously cultivating a healthier, more diverse future for our food systems. They are playing a pivotal role in making this nutritious and flavorful grain accessible to a broader audience, promoting its unique benefits. The widespread availability of premium wild rice blends supports not only healthy eating but also, in many cases, sustainable agricultural practices and the economies of indigenous communities involved in traditional harvesting. This intricate industrial process demonstrates unequivocally that tradition, when deeply understood, meticulously respected, and intelligently applied through modern science and technology, offers the most profound, elegant, and enduring solutions for the challenges of feeding a growing global population. It is a beacon of hope for a future where our food is not only delicious and nutritious, but also produced with respect for its origins, its environment, and the people who bring it to our plates, ensuring culinary delight and ecological integrity for generations to come.
We need to check the moisture content on this batch.
I agree. There are a few inconsistencies in the sample.